and sit down.
Hello, the fans of the Geekedupgaming Review Group. We are excited to be back. We have been having some issues, but everything is squared, everything is clear and good to go, and we are hopefully going to bring you guys a lot more reviews. We have plenty of content. We have plenty of games to show you guys. And the one that we're going to show you today is called Titans of Empryean. It's going to hit Kickstarter in February this month. And I say this month, and I probably will upload this video at least 2 days before the month, I hope, of February. And we want to give a huge shout out to IGA, Indie Game Alliance. Follow them on Twitter at Indie Game Allies. Also follow us on Twitter at Geekedupgaming1. And follow the makers of Titans of Empryean at 9 Kingdoms. And if you can't find them, that's probably because I just gave you the wrong Twitter account, and I apologize. So, let's go ahead and head over to the tabletop, show you guys the components of this game, which are pixelated, and it is a prototype, so please do not judge it by the prototype productivity artwork. And the artwork is pixelated. We were hoping it was going to stay that way, but it's not. It's actually going to be clear and crisp. We were very disappointed. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over to the tabletop and let's check out these pieces. Alright guys, so we have here the board and our decks for Titans of Empryean. And we have the dragons, we have the griffins, which are basically giant owls to me, manticores, which are like a lion with wings, and they also have horns. And then we have the Pegasus, which I think it's a toss-up for me between the dragons and the Pegasus. They're both mystical creatures. I mean, they're all 4 mystical creatures, but I mean, the dragons are an all-time favorite from everyone. But then the Pegasus, didn't really get the credit that they deserve as a mystical creature, and most people don't look at them as likable. I guess girls might like the Pegasus, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. So, along with showing you guys the components, I'm also showing you kind of how to set it up without telling you how to set it up. Okay, so you're gonna pick your Titans, and then you're gonna pick your corresponding the decks that come with it. So your 32 cards. You're gonna have your 4 Titans cards. I can get them here. 4 Titan cards. Yes, 2 of them are unfinished, but we are okay with that. So 4 Titans cards, and then 28 in the deck, if my math is correct. 28, 32. Yeah, 28 minus 4. 28 plus 4 is 32. Yes. So 32 and 32 cards. And then each person is also going to get their tokens, which are going to match to whichever race you pick. I know I don't have those turned the correct way for you guys to see. I'm just kind of throwing them up here in the camera. Okay, so just set off to the side the ones that you're not using, obviously. In the this one, I actually had to mark out the old name of the character and put its real name, which was Ash, which is one of the dragons, and is also the main character in Pokemon, in case you didn't know. So, set these off to the side. Let's get the Drake, let's get the Rax, let's get Smoke and Inferno and Eagle Wings. Not to be a critic, but Eagle Wings for a Pegasus, I don't think I agree with that name for a Pegasus as Eagle Wings. Even though its wings look like eagle wings, I'm not sure that I like that. This, I know this is going to sound awful, or not awful, let's say odd, This, I think, is my favorite because of his name, Smoke. And if you guys aren't fans of NASCAR, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But Smoke is Tony Stewart in the NASCAR series. You know, yeah. Anyways, I only follow a few people, athletes. Race car drivers are athletes. They have to go through the conditioning and the weight loss and everything else. Just like football players and whatnot. Oh, lunar. Okay. I was wondering where my other thing went. So you're going to have your 4 Titans cards, your 4 Titan tokens. You're going to have your board and your cards. Your maneuver cards. So at the beginning of the game, we're just going to take these tokens and kind of set them on the corners up here. You're going to set your Titans out. You can put them in front of you. Whatever you want to do, just remember that there's a sequential order to your cards. So I have Rax, he's an 8. So let's say 8 is the lowest. My opponent has, oh, they have a 6. I'm sorry, the 6 is the lowest. And then, so it would go Black Feather, then it would go to Rax in sequential order, and so on and so forth. And you guys get what I'm saying. Sequential order, just make sure that each of your heroes are going in sequential order. We were a little confused in the rulebook because there was no diagram. It's a prototype, so we worked around it. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. So we took, and we were just being completely, I'm going to say dumb about it, and we were taking all of our Titans and put all of our Titans in sequential order. Me and Anna's, all of them in a column. And then we were putting each of our cards next to them, and I'll explain what I mean to on the cards. The sequential order is going to be the number in the top right hand corner, and then you have these other icons, and these icons are your race, and these are your maneuver ability right here. This is your attack power. I'm trying to just remember this. I don't have the rule book in front of me. I'm just trying to remember. And then this is the health that you have before you have to discard a maneuver. So you can hold 3 maneuvers, and you can take 3 damage, and then once you're max damage, you have to get rid of a maneuver card off of your character. So it's almost like having a rounded 5, because you have 3 and 3, but once these 3 are gone, you have to get rid of one of these. So it's kind of like a 5-6 health, like a 5-6 health, in a way. So that's how that kind of works. Where like Lunar, he can only take 1 hit, so he's really gonna have to stay like in the back of the pack. And I kind of like to play the game as this person's gonna be my tank. This person's going to be my range attack. This person's going to be support or whatever. Because there's not really a healer, because I guess dragons just aren't that cool. They don't have healers. But anyways, so you're going to set up sequential order. You're going to set up your cards on each of these characters. So let's say I already shuffled the deck. He can have 5, so I would give him 5. 3, 4, 5. And he gets 4, so he gets 4. And then you have 3, so there's 3. And then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, so they all have their cards. And then this is your pool, or your extra, whatever you want to call it, and you can actually pick from this card. What's also cool is that you can actually take the cards that are here, put them in whatever order you want before you start the game, and then strategically kind of build your characters, where your opponent can do the same thing, so it makes everything kind of even. Okay, so the board, it's dark in the center, light on the edges. Simple to see where you can deploy your characters. When you're deploying, you can only deploy inside of the lighted areas on the first round. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a mechanic of this game that is going to probably blow your mind, because I don't know any other game that allows you to do this. But at some point in the game, with the right amount of maneuver cards, you can actually pay a maneuver card for your character to leave the board. Now, not on the very first round. And I'm missing a guy. So this isn't the correct guy, but I'm just gonna show him here for 4 and 4. So you are obviously combating and everything, and these triangles here are showing which way, let's say Drake is moving. So before I move, I can turn and then move, or I can just move the direction he's facing. But I am forced to move. These are flying creatures. They're all flying. So there's just this huge fight in the air, and apparently nobody knows how to land on land and have some combat. Okay, so we're all flying. We have feet, but we can't use them. Only our wings. No feet in this game, only wings. We're all flying. You can't land. But because we're flying, we have the ability to leave the board. And like I said, not on the very first turn, not on the very first round of everything, but later you can leave. And then when you come back, I believe you have to pay for a toll, but you can land on any outside ring. So that's like the basis of how you're going to set the game up and start the game. And the components, I really didn't show you the components. I showed you guys like a splash. So here is the backings of the cards up close, which I don't know if you can see that, but the image should be a little pixelated. That's not because my camera is out of date. That's just because the artwork is actually pixelated, and we thought it was going to actually be pixelated like that, kind of like you saw, like if you played Pokemon, you would see these pixelated creatures, but everyone looked like they're supposed to, but they were just a little pixelated. So we thought, oh cool, it's going to be like a little pixelated artwork kind of game. It's not. We actually had a print of like a really clear imaged and stuff, but like this one, you can kind of tell that it was just the printer kind of just botched it a little. And it's, yeah, kind of frustrating to try and read some of these. But we thought it was supposed to be that way, so we didn't say anything. And then when we read the letter that came with it, it said that this was all messed up. And that the cards are apparently cut by, if I get this right, 9-month chimpanzee, I think, is what Nine Kingdoms told us. But I'm not sure. I don't remember. So that's the basis of how you're going to set everything up. And the artwork is very attractive. The back of the cards, I'm not sure what color that is. Kind of like a purple-ish color. And these cards, the strength and everything, I don't know if they're going to stay with just the basic looking card or if this is just complete prototype. But maybe they could do strength like throwing out like an Arm & Hammer logo type thing, say maybe for strength. Shrug it off. They can have like Shoulder Boy, brushing his shoulder off or something, stuff like that. If you guys have no clue what Soldier Boy is, I apologize. I'm just kind of like just throwing stuff in the wind. But that's components and basics of how to set up. So let's go ahead and tell you guys what we think, or what I think of Titans of Empryean, because everyone else is asleep. So our final thoughts. Titans of Empryean. I think every person should go out there and back it. I think it's a good game to have in your library. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of cool that you can actually like leave the board and come back to the board, and you can kind of flank your enemy in a way, unless they leave the board and they come back, and then they're gonna flank you, and then it keeps it interesting, the different things that you can do, and then being forced to move one space is kind of keeps the game going in a way. And then you have the special effects of like the collisions and stuff, and a lot of stuff going on. And I say a lot of stuff going on. There's not a lot of stuff going on. Just things just happen when you're near an opponent with someone. Remembering the sequence is a big part of it. Remembering what creature gets to go next, and then what creature goes after that. And I think next time we're just gonna write it down on a piece of paper, like next to the board or something, and be like, this is the sequence order. And that would just be the easiest way. So I hope everyone enjoyed this review. Please subscribe to our channel, and please follow us on Twitter at Geekedupgaming1, and follow 9 Kingdoms as well, and also IGA, Indie Game Alliance, or Indie Game Allies, Indie Game Alliance, same difference. But yeah, and be sure to also check us out on Facebook, and on Instagram and Pinterest, and Twitter is probably our main feed, and Instagram. So we post a lot of pictures of games that we're playing, a lot of the prototypes that we have, and we hope to keep you guys updated, and yeah. So we hope that you like this review. So please share it with your friends, and tell them about Titans of Empryean. It's going to hit Kickstarter and here in February, just a couple days. Alright, so I'm Tim, Geekedupgaming Review Group, and this is Titans of Empryean.
Shut up and sit down.